everyone. It's Friday, and that means it's time for Muppin Sewing Emporium. How are you doing today? I am wonderfully well. I am live to you through the power of the internet, and we are here in beautiful downtown Paducah, Kentucky. It's a 76 degrees outside. It was beautiful today in downtown Paducah. It was very windy, and two or at least three times our signage that we have out front of our shop flew over. So I decided that I was going to take that all in. So if you looked for us, we may not have had our little sandwich board out today. That's because I'm tired of chasing it down the street. It's gonna be a beautiful day tonight, and possibly some rain tomorrow. So hopefully, fingers crossed. If you come on out, come in and see us. We will be open tomorrow until 4 p.m. Oh, what a day. Excited. I've seen lots of my friends. We've got lots of plans in the works out there. Very exciting. So much is actually happening while we are in our mode of getting ready for quilt week, which is, as of today, only 3-ish weeks away. And we have a lot planned for Quilt Week. Quilt Week is our biggest week of the year in the store, and I'm excited. It's going to be a very great one. Tonight, don't forget to go on over and shop our website, because, my friends, we are getting very fully stocked for Quilt Week. Everything that we've been bringing in is online, so you're going to want to check there to make sure that you get those goodies first. Now, we're going to talk really quickly about some of the things that we've brought in that you need to see. We only have a couple new things, and then I have a couple of things here that I want to sort of talk about again in case you have missed it in one of our previous videos, because this is one of those things that's just so cool. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my little camera. Let's bring this over here. Yeah, and like I usually say, it's all fun and games until the technology stops. And let's talk about it. Charlotte's here. Hello, Charlotte. How are you today? Are you in town? I don't even know if you're in town yet. Still. So let me know. If you're out there and you want to give us a thumbs up or a hello, please go ahead and do that. Yeah. Alrighty, my friends, we're going to show a few of these things that we have that are new. These are needle minders, and they are by a wonderful little company called Flamingo Toes. I know. That is like one of the cutest names I have heard in a while. Cheryl is here. Hello, Cheryl. Marion's watching over on YouTube. Martha is here. Thank you. And Charlotte says she is in town, won't be traveling until June. I love it. Woohoo! So these needle minders, they're fairly decent size. This is about an inch or so, I want to say. And what you do, let me find a needle here. I've got one stuck into my project. Okay. Come on out. There you go. Work with me. This is how it works. That needle minder is so you would basically take the magnet and attach this to your project, and then boop, just like that, your needle is stuck to it. Now, if you've seen the other needle minders that we've had in the store, they are pretty big. We have some pretty big needle minders, and those we have at an excellent price. These are very collectible type needle minders. And what do you see right there? It's a little quilt shop. And I love it. It's so cute. Although if this one were mine, my door would be over here. But it's a little quilt shop, and if you are into these kinds of things, this is the really cute thing for you. We've got a sewing machine here that's sewing a little quilt, and again, needle sticks right to it. Very easy to find your needle once you put this put this onto your project. Charlotte says the big ones are good for your thread snips next to your machine. Yes, ma'am. And those ones we do still have in the shop. We have those currently in the web store if you're long distance. And here you go. So we've got these needle minders, and look at how sweet this one is. This one is the little stork embroidery scissors. And so this one's very delicate, it's very small. So again, attach this to your hoop. You can use this to hold fabrics together. You can use a needle minder for lots of different things, but this one, it's just very sweet. And these are all um, by Flamingo Toes, Beverly McCullough. She is a designer for Riley Blake. Sonia, it was good to see you today. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, so these needle minders in stock right now, and I just think these kinds of things they're a little bit like candy, right? You've got to have one for every project. So I just love that. I love that you've got these little things to sort of put on all of your different projects. Good evening, Joy. How are you tonight? It was good to see you. Was it today or yesterday? I know I just saw you in the last couple of days. I feel like all of my friends have come out to say hello lately. So I really am enjoying seeing all of you pop your head into the shop. So these needle minders are currently in stock. Go ahead and grab them from our website. If you are coming into the store, you might want to go ahead and order it for pickup, because you don't want to sleep on these kinds of things. They're smalls, these little smalls. They go pretty quickly in our location. So the next thing I have for you is a little stack of fabric by Poppy Cotton. Now, Poppy Cotton is a company that they're not new. I think this is like their third or fourth collection, third or fourth year, I should say. This little bundle is 7 fat quarters, and what these are, and I just love what they call this, but they call them Ditzy florals. Ditzy, ditzy, as in, like, little cute fabrics, just sweet and adorable. Yes, Marion, I know, it's adorables. It also has, I'm just going to pull this one out. It also has one sort of kind of blockish panel-y print. And so you get the sense of the kinds of florals that are in this. But this is poppy cotton. And poppy cotton, we have quite a few of their bundles in stock right now. We've got some charm packs in stock, and we have the mushroom blooms. So I want to say that this company is extremely contemporary, very much on like the floral sort of shabby chic end of things. We've got like, these different colors. But if you were to add like a navy blue or something like that to this set, you would have a really, really beautiful project. See, oh, I was right. See, I was like, I would add a navy blue, and look, they did. I wasn't even looking at that, but the navy blue, to me, it kind of crosses all the colors, and this would be an adorable quilt with some white and navy blue. Ugh, yum yum yum. Okay, so this little bundle, $24.50, and is in stock right now. So we've got quite a few other poppy cottons in stock. You might want to check those out. So we've got needle minders. We've got some beautiful, as they call them, ditzy florals. And then I haven't shown this bag in a hot minute, but this is one of the By Annie bags. Okay, and here's what you have to look at. Like, when you look at this package and you look at that bag on the front, I know you are probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking, in that probably isn't going to make me want to make this project. I love that, this was called Going Downton. Okay, not downtown, but Downton. And that is because this was made for the Downton Abbey fabric line. And get this, that was how long ago? 2013. So we're talking like 12 years that they've been making this bag pattern, and they haven't updated this cover, which really, this fabric line is so gone. I couldn't even make it like this if I wanted to. But Kathy, thank you. Marion, thank you also. Look at how cute it is in any other color. But you know me. You know that I love a good texture on a project. And this, my friends, this is so cute. This one to me is like aces. Sonia, thank you. I agree. This came out so adorable. I was so happy with how this came out. So, don't get stuck on the pattern on the cover. Okay, try it in something else. This would also be extremely lovely in a solid. Okay, so you do not have to get wrapped up in this particular print. It would be lovely in any kind of print, but OMG, look at the difference. Now, doesn't this make you want to make it though? Like, I love this bag. I adore it. And we used our rainbow hardware on it, so of course. And then inside this little guy, it's got pockets and pocketses. And I mean, like, look at all the pocketses. It's got pockets for like a phone. It's got pockets for credit cards. It's got a pocket for, lipstick or a lip balm or whatever. And then you've got all this room in here. I mean, it's not a terribly big bag. It's 8 inches long. It's kind of a great little tiny bag. So I altered it just very slightly by putting a tab with the D rings on either end. And you can use this as a clutch, or you can do what I did and you can put these tabs on it and then put a strap on it. And I have the a strap made for a different project. So I just thought that this one came out. Mary, hello. It is adorable. And I have to say, like, I haven't shown this bag in a while. So I wanted to bring it out, show you. We've got the patterns in stock. I mean, how cute is that? Right? And like, it teaches you how to do all of this stuff. So you're not like freaking out. It's not it's not a bad thing. Like, it's easy to do. It is really fun. So, yes, you can make this, cuz I did. But don't get wrapped up on like what's on the cover. Okay? Cuz the cover is not always where it is. So it is a pattern that is calling Going Downton, and it doesn't take a whole lot of stuff. It's like 5/8 of a yard, half a yard for the lining. You need some of that stuff to make it like we have all of this. So yeah, you will be good to go. So we have this, we have the needle minders, we have the fabric. Cute. My goodness. And I have to say, like, these kinds of little projects like that, they, as it goes straight onto the floor, these kinds of are like great little like weekend projects. I don't think this took me more. I mean, just look at how bright it is. It's so great. I don't think this took me more than like 3 hours to make. So it's cute, and you know you want one. So, and I am telling you, I am a crossbody bag girl now. Like, the pandemic broke me. I used to have these little like cute handbags, and now I'm like hands free. I want the crossbody bags. So that's why this one I like as a crossbody, because it's tiny and it's cute. So try that one out. You are going to like it. Now, you're going to see here that I have made some progress on the Hitomezashi Sashiko from last week. Quite a bit of it is nearly done. And so let's talk about it. Last week it was nothing but lines, and this week we have filled in all of the north-south lines, and I am now nearly halfway done with the east to west lines. And can we talk about how fun this is? Yeah. It is. It's wildly entertaining. Huge progress. Yes, ma'am. Kathy, I literally, I think I've been stitching on this for like 4 to 5 hours a night. And I will say that it took me, I thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. If you didn't remember, there's 2 designs that we have, and there's the skull design and a Space Invader design. And this is the skull design. And what I did was I took this piece time. Um it just decides to just like bleh. So I've always got to like restart this thing, and then hope that when I turn it back on it's going to be fine. But anyway, all right, let's see. Let me know in the comments if you can see it. Usually if I restart it, it's gonna barf out. Thank you, Marion. I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments if you can see the screen again. Yes, okay. And she's back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you so much. Yeah. Woo, shoo. Let me tell you. Um, it is all fun and games until the technology stops. Okay, so I'm going to take this strings here, this piece of thread off here, because that's the one I'm working with currently. And let me just tell you how I divided this up so that it makes more sense to you. And I'm going to show you down here where you only see the straight up and down. What I did was I took a piece of each color of the thread, like, a little chunk, like maybe this long, and you can see here this is the color division for the opposite direction. And essentially this is what I did in the other direction. I would basically measure out a chunk for each color, and then I just took a piece of thread and I used that thread to mark where to begin the next color. And that's how you got such a nice color gradation across the whole piece, right? Um yeah, it's thank you, Mary. um I do appreciate that. And like I said, part of that was to not just do one color. A lot of Sashiko is done in one solid color through the whole piece. So it would all be like a blue color or an indigo color on white. And I'm not saying that I'm opposed to that, but in this particular case, I wanted to have a little more fun with it. So my goal was to do all of the color gradation one way and then do the color gradation in the opposite direction, and they would cross over themselves, and then there would be like a section of each color that would cross over itself, as you went down. So, and just to further explain how I did this, because one of the things I'm most proud of is that there is like no bubbles um or tucks or any kind of like, I mean, this came out as nice as could be for how this was stitched. And if you recall how this is done, you literally sew around the whole perimeter first. So the chance of having a bubble or a tuck on the back here, for me, felt really high. But as you can see, what I did was there is a line here in the middle. And what that did is that basically indicated to me, if I were to start here in the middle and work all the way across on one side and then all the way across on the other, it would come out very evenly. Oh, yes, Mary, I appreciate that. It really is like a lot of fun to do this. Very meditative, meditative. uh, It feels like a meditation when you do this. It's great for watching TV or just listening to podcasts or whatever. Um, as you can see, usually the green and the yellow are the first one in the progression, and so last time I did green to purple first and then yellow to pink last, and then I am doing it the opposite direction. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly it. And Marion, you also have hit it right on the head. It's extremely calming because you are only stitching in one direction. And so I just really enjoyed the stitching on it. And I want to say like each color probably takes about an hour. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate it. The color, like here is the last few rows that I have to do for the pink. And there is a method that they have for kind of weaving your ends in, which I really enjoyed learning that. But as you can see, you've got my little skull shape here. I I just really, really enjoyed doing this. And so I wanted to give you a really quick, little tutorial here on doing the east and the west colors, which really is still stitching north to south because you of just the way that you turn it. Um, and this side has not been stitched with the other direction, and this part here has. And like I said, so far the way everything's been stitched, it's coming out just fine. Now I do have a lot of trimming to do. There's an extreme amount of like little thread tails coming out of the edges. And so far, I'm gonna knock on wood here. This entire piece has been stitched with 0 knots, no knots in this whole piece, not one knot. And the reason for that is because of how they want you to secure your stitch and how you also sort of interleave how you begin and end. If you have to stop, like let's say you're going to have a stitch, it's going to end here. Okay, you've run out of thread. Well, what you do is you sort of weave the thread tail as far away from that stopping point as possible, and then your new thread tail you will sort of weave in and leave it long like this, and then you come back and you trim it. And then anywhere here in the at the end, okay, they want you to sort of bury between the two layers of this cloth. So to anchor it without using any knot, you just stay stitch in the same spot. And I did that twice. And I mean, that's not coming out, and it's certainly not pulling the rest of my stitches out. So it's really, really been a lot of fun. Now, I will also say that these blue lines where your stitch lines where you're supposed to take your stitches, these wash away. So you don't when you are all done, you rinse and wash this, and then you those lines all disappear. So like these marked lines where the center line is, that is going to go completely away. So I don't have to worry about that. So I've been using this same needle too, and I have to tell you, Jerry, this would be one for looking under the microscope because it's quite I think I've been sewing on this needle now for like 25 hours. It's a long one. But this is one of our needles, and this thread is a 15, no, sorry, a 12 weight. So a 12 weight thread, and put it to the side. Yeah, I want to see if I can get 20 hours on it. But I am starting to feel just the oh wait, I'm not supposed to knot this. Okay. See, I almost did it. Put it to the side, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just take what I'm calling a stay stitch. My needles are awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, we agree. And we have restocked. If you've been waiting, we have restocked. Now, this is a much longer thread than I ever sew with. So if you're probably like, Cheryl, why is that thread so long? You can see here, I'm going to pull it like way, way, way up over my head. Yeah. So that little stay stitch there, that's not coming out. That's all you need. There's no knot necessary for this method. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to try to like weave my little thread here in between the layers, because I have to start there, and I need to sort of get there first. So let me get there. And I don't really want this to show on the back, although occasionally I have like just run it through the back, but not this time. It's like too far away. So I'm just trying to get there through the two layers. And I'm going to come right out. So as you can see, these rows are very close together. So we're just going to get through there. There we go. And then it's as easy as just going in and out right where the existing stitch in the other direction is. And you're kind of trying to aim right for those that same hole, right? So if you can, you want it in that same hole that the other stitch in the opposite direction is going. And you just go up and down, and yes, your thread is passed all the way to the back, and that's what gives you all of that same stitching on the back. And it does get a little confusing because you have to remember that you're going straight, because if you do not see these little tiny stitches, see how tiny that is? Okay, if you don't see that stitch, you can accidentally go in the wrong direction, or like you'll end up going up here instead of straight. So there's like a little bit of mindfulness. But I've been listening to music, and I'll put on one of my television shows, or something I've watched a million times, so I don't have to pay too much attention to it. The thing on Netflix where it says, "Are you still watching?" And I'm like, "Stop interrupting my show I'm listening to." That kind of thing. So, as you can see, it's just about as straight forward as it gets, just in and out. And I think like the stitching in the other direction was harder. Um Only because you were trying to hit, like, all the corners so exactly, whereas this, you're sort of going into the pre-existing stitch mark, the stitch hole, so you're trying to just make sure you get into the right hole, as it were. Um, no pun intended. Um, that's why this YouTube channel is not for kids. So, you've got this uh pretty easy to go across, and like some of the colors that I have been that have been mixing have been kind of interesting, right? So I've got, I think, one here that's got orange, red, green, and yellow. So I've just been enjoying the sort of serendipity of it, the sort of I don't know, it's been a lot more fun, and now I know why people love Sashiko so much. How it is more of a zen-like, um, sort of that, mindful stitching and mindful work, and I think, like, sort of this whole cloth dresser scarf, you know, they want you to use this as a towel. I would not wipe my hands on this thing, I'll tell you, after all this stitching. Um, but I will say from last Friday until today, I know that I must have stitched at least 3 hours, if not 5 hours a night on this thing. And so I would say at this point, I probably know I have a good 15, maybe even closer to 20 hours of stitching in it. And when you're thinking about that, I know when I think about that kind of stuff, if somebody says to me, you're going to spend 25 hours stitching on this, I would be like, I don't have that kind of time. Right? Like, that does not sound like, nobody sounds like they've got a spare 25 hours. But when we get home and we start, we start dinner, we finish dinner, we clean up the dishes, and then it's sort of like, we worked all day, we want to relax. This is the kind of thing that I really have enjoyed doing. It's been really fun. So, I just think that it has come out a lot better, and been way more enjoyable than I thought it was gonna be, right? Like, at first, you think, it I don't know, like, when I first started stitching on it, I thought, "Oh, this is okay, so this is gonna take me a really long time." And then I think one of the nights, we had turned on a movie or something, and I thought, "Uh-oh, uh, I can't do this and watch the television show." I knew I was in trouble. So I chose to put it aside and watch the television show instead. Um, we've been watching a lot of Daredevil, the new TV series on Disney Plus, because we loved the series when it was part of Netflix. Um, Charlie Cox is such a good Daredevil. OMG. For those of you who are geeky nerds like me, this is the golden age of us. So, uh, and then they say, will you make one for me? And that's where you can buy them a kit and just hand it to them and say, it's so much more fun if you make it yourself. Mary says, I told Jerry that I could totally sew this, but figuring out all the colors and making the stitch to mark where the colors change takes genius level creative thinking. I mean, at first, I thought that, but really, it's a lot easier than it looks. Because it's already divided in half here at the with that mark, right? So if you have 8 colors, which I have 8 colors instead of 6, you just divide it. You divide it across, and you see those little tags here. That's where the colors change. And I just took my colors and just, said, that looks good. That looks good. Just kept dividing and dividing. Marion, I have not watched Ghosts yet. Um, I have heard that it looks like a show I would like. Um, I just haven't yet. Now, I understand that it was based off of a BBC series, almost like The Office, right? So The Office was a BBC show before it went to America. And I'm wondering if I would enjoy the British version more. But I don't know. Um but I know the premise and it sounds amazing. Cuz I'm kind of here for that stuff. And we think about that all the time with our building. If you don't know the premise of Ghosts, it's people who if I'm not mistaken, they buy a building or buy a house, and it is got the people who have passed away in the house. Um, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So it's haunted by the people who used to live there. Um, or in the case of, like, I think there's like a Viking, and he died on the property, and so he's included. There's like all kinds of different characters. I've seen the trailers and it looks amazing. Yes, they're on Paramount. I like them both. They had a snail they named the escargot. Yeah, I think that would be yeah, I was already jazzed to get started, but your progress is really cool. Thank you. And I know that you just purchased these, so Ghost is funny. The BBC's is fun as well. I think it is a very it seems right up my alley with Mr. Spooky and Mr. Sprinkles here. Yeah. Escar Ghost. Like, that's the kind of stuff I would make up, right? Oh my gosh. Look at that escargot. Yeah. That used to be one of my favorite jokes as a kid. Okay, so as you can see here, I've gotten all the way to the end. And what you do is, I have gone to the end. See, there's no straight line here. So I have to jump to the next line, and you just start and could not. This one is going to be this one's the easy, as I call it, the easy lane. Um, there's an easy lane like every few lanes. Okay. This is one of the things that I enjoyed about this one, is that you get these little fussy ones with the little stitches, and then you get this one with the big long stitches. And that's this one here. It's got big long stitches, and so it's sort of like, like going through the fast lane. It's like it's quick, and then I did enjoy that the top of the skull is split. So it's actually 2 stitches and not 1. And at first, I didn't know how I felt about it, but now I think it's awesome, because I think it does make the skull look better. Yeah. So oh my goodness. A Boy Scout leader, guy with no pants, who's a womanizer. I love it. I think that stuff is so funny. I'm a big fan of anything that's got like those kind of fun supernatural parts to it. You know. Um I just had earlier my husband and I were talking about TV shows that like you don't hear about anymore. But do you remember the one show that was about a little girl who was a robot, and the dad was the guy who built the robot, and like they were trying to hide her from the government in their house. It was a comedy, no less. And I can't remember the name of the show, and the robot's name was Vicky. I do remember that. And she wore this like red dress with a little white apron pinafore thing, like she was some kind of doll. And half the time, because people would come in and say, "We know you're working on secret robotics in here," and they would be like, "That's just my daughter's giant doll that looks like a human being." It was so crazy. Um, and they would do like these weird special effects with the doll, with the robot, and like she would do stuff and speed up, and it was like just fast forwarded. Yes, Small Wonder. Yes. Okay. See, I'm not the only one that remembers this crazy stuff. Now, this is not like the other TV shows that I used to watch. And like I remember a TV show, and it was like these weird like HR Puffin stuff type. It wasn't HR Puffin stuff. That was a whole separate show. But this was a show, and it had those like puppets, those like creepy 70s era puppets, the ones that you were like, I don't want to meet you in a dark alley kind of puppet. And it was a show about a hotel, and it was called the Giggle Snort Hotel. Now, before the internet, I would talk about this show to other people, and I'm like, I used to be scared of this show. It was called the Giggle Snort Hotel. And people were like, I don't think a show like that's ever existed. I don't remember that show. And like people have blocked this show out of their memories. And it was a real show. And finally, like the internet proved me right. Yes. Oh my god, it was so weird. It was so Blob. Yes. Yes. It was a creepy show. It was like a Chicago area show too. And people are like, and I used to think, well, you had to have been from the Chicago area to remember it. No, other people knew about it. It was like what is it, that Mandela effect where you think it's the Berenstain Bears, and it's really like the Berenstain Bears. And yeah, and like the Fruit of the Loom doesn't have a cornucopia. And yeah, those kinds of like memories, those institutional memories we're all trying to remember. But yeah, Giggle Snort Hotel, creepy show. Small Wonder. Oh my gosh. Oh, you can still see these shows. That's the thing, like The Nanny and all those others. Do you remember Dinosaurs? Not the mama. Yes, I do remember Dinosaurs. And um boy, talk about a terrible ending to a show. Um didn't that show end with the meteor that like took them all out, if I remember right? Yeah, but I do remember Dinosaurs. I think my sister had the baby as a doll, the dinosaur baby. um Not the mama, was the dad. I do remember that. He's like, say daddy, and they're like, not the mama. um yeah, yeah, that was a good show. Really cute and really well done for its time. Like, it was way ahead of its time as far as like the prosthetics and that. It would all be CGI now, sadly. But and I'm talking while I'm doing this, so I'm clearly not stitching it as quickly as I would normally do. But I'm already on my second row through here. Now, this is one of the few times where I have followed the directions on the actual package to put the length of thread onto the needle it recommended me to. So and I this is a much longer piece of thread than I would ever sew with, but it seems to work out for this. So just so you know, you're like, Cheryl, that's way more thread than you ever tell us to sew with. And that's fine. It's just with this particular thing, I don't I'm following their directions. Baby wouldn't sleep one night, so dad sang to the baby and did the mating dance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a funny show. And it reminded me a lot of like how we look now at the Flintstones, and we were like, they had like machinery, like as if they were modern people, like cars and uh other birds and stuff as jackhammers and sewing machines and dishwashers, and you're just like, what the heck? um so yeah, I mean, they had technology and then they were all wiped out. So yeah, those were our childhoods right there, I'll tell you. But yeah, Small Wonder is the name of the show I was trying to remember. And of course, my husband's looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because, of course, it wasn't really a show for him. It was more of a show, it was a family show, but it was in that era of like different strokes and Webster and, oh, shoot. My video did it again. Well, bummer. It's like I said, this camera. Oh, it disconnected itself. That's why. Decided to be a little ornery today. And it's like, are you still on the internet? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Thank you very much, Lee. Well, it's not going to really matter. We have like 5 more minutes. You're back. I'm back. But the screen here is not participating. It's decided that it's going to be ornery today. Anyway, so like I said, lots of cute stuff. We've got lots going on here in the store. Prepping, quilt week, quilt week, quilt week. We've got a lot of, I'm trying to get samples like this done. It is cute, isn't it? It's not very big. And notice too that like it's only slightly like shrinking. It's not shrinking as much as I thought it would. So if I hold it up like this, you can kind of see like a little bit in the middle how it like here is a little curved in a little bit, but for the most part, this thing is not like shrinking up like I thought it would. Like, I thought you would put all these stitches in and you'd lose like a good inch on every side, and I don't feel like you are. I feel like it's sort of, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's not shrinking like I thought it would. Now, these kinds of things are, this one's going in the store as a sample. It's going to hang right there next to all the other Sashiko. I don't know if I will get the Invader done before Quilt Week, but at least we'll have one to show what they do. And then oh goodness, we just got some jewelry in, some sewing themed jewelry that just came in, and we have that coming in for Quilt Week, but it's on display already. Mariana, hello. What else? Oh, Tula Pink fabrics coming by the middle to end of April. So those of you who have your pre-orders in, good news, Tula Pink coming in on time. Other fabrics on order, pre-order right now. We are taking pre-orders for all of our Halloween lines. So, and we are taking pre-orders on Mr. Boney Jr. So Mr. Boney Jr. is officially up for pre-order. He is going to come in at the end of April, possibly the very beginning of May. We have his order confirmed. Chef's kiss. He's amazing. You do not want to miss out on Mr. Boney Jr. We have a lot of him coming in. So place your order. And what else? We have some cute, and I mean, doll panels coming in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. So we've got a lot of really, really, like, really cute stuff. Yes, yeah, I know. And I had a conversation with a customer today. We were talking about like fabrics and buying fabrics, and I showed the catalog, and one of our catalogs, and it was just like florals. And look, I'm not opposed to a good floral, right? But they're drowning us in florals. So this is my cry to fabric designers everywhere. Please design something other than just plain old florals. Okay, we need something. We need something else. We need something more. I don't mind if you give us leaves or twigs or trees or something, but the flowers, I feel like what is it, the person in the from The Devil Wears Prada, florals for spring, groundbreaking. I mean, it's like really, but it's all year now. So we're putting out the call to fabric companies: stop giving us florals and give us something new. We want skulls. Anyway, my friends, that's what I have for you tonight. I hope you get some sewing done this weekend, and hopefully you will get some sewing done today. My friends, take care of yourselves. I will see all of you next week. Happy April. See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.